Udah pernah tes sebelumnya kalian?
Sudah.
Pernah? Hah? Udah pernah tes?
Have you cut your hair?
Which one?
Have you cut your hair?
Satu atau dua gitu nyebut.
Luckily, I didn't hurt myself. I only tore my shirt on a ladder.
Satu.
You need to lift the ramp higher.
Dua.
Kalau bisa jangan diulang, cukup satu kali didengarkan karena mengulang itu membuang-buang waktu.
Oh iya.
I don't like that rumor.
Dua.
Have you been involved in any accidents over the years?
Dua.
The crew got stressed when they heard the alarm go off.
Satu.
You need to log that properly. You need to log that properly. This hurricane could distort the equipment settings. This hurricane could distort the equipment settings.
Dua. Kalau yang satu tuh destroy, ya kan? Destroy, yang kedua distort. Destroy, distort.
Is it still raining up here?
Satu.
I don't think it's fair.
Dua.
Jadi kalau untuk ini baca dulu soalnya, lihat jawabannya baru dengarkan.
Look, I'm not accepting those tins of tomatoes.
Why? What's the problem?
Just have a look at the date. What's the date today?
It's the 5th of November,
And what's the date on that tin?
the 2nd of August, so what's your point?
Well, have a look at the year. That tin is 3 years out of date.
Look, I've eaten tins of tomatoes that are 5 years out of date and you wouldn't know it. They keep forever.
Well, that might be your opinion, but I'm not taking them, and that's final.
Benar? Apa?
Dua.
Hey, what are you doing in your hand?
I'm rubbing some butter on this bun.
What? But that's the worst thing you can do. It just holds in the heat.
Oh, so, should I use some oil instead? Or bathe it with hot water?
No, no, no. It's not a bad burn, so just hold it under cold, running water.
Apa?
Tiga.
No.
Excuse me. I'd like the shoes in the window, please.
Certainly, sir. What size?
Not sure. I think I'm a 42.
What size have you got on at the moment?
Oh, they're a 43, sorry. I better get the same size.
We've actually got that style in a brown and a black.
Well, as I always get brown shoes, I think I'll have black for a change.
Tiga.
Salah. Ini. Black for a change.
Look, I know this is a bit embarrassing, but we need to talk about your personal hygiene.
What? Again? What is it this time? Come on, I know my breath used to smell, but that was because of when my teeth had gone bad. It's been taken out now.
Don't worry, your breath is fine. It's just that it's hot working in the engine room. You just need to freshen up a bit.
Oh, that's charming, that is. Have a daily shower, same as you.
Yeah, but how often do you wash your coveralls and t-shirts?
Well, that washing machine is quite complex, you know.
I'll show you how to use it later, okay?
Apa? Udah bingung kan? Coba.
Buset. Kecil amat.
Watching that lifeboat launch reminds me of the joke, how many men does it take to change a light bulb? There are 7 men, but it's not going very well.
Yeah, I'm not too impressed with two of the new crew in particular.
Yes, I think we need to do some more training with them. Do you think they're actually aware it should take 5 minutes to lower a lifeboat?
They certainly should be.
Ya, berapa?
3.
Aku rencananya mau beli yang ini.
3.
Soalnya ada take-out.
Yang nomor 3 itu.
Sama dia itu anti air.
Ini.
Lihat di sini nih.
Kalau ini saya nggak dengar.
Iya.
Can I talk with you for a moment?
Sure, what is it?
I'm concerned about the delays we're experiencing with some of our suppliers.
We're doing everything to get back on schedule.
Could you give me an approximate timeline?
A number of deliveries are arriving tomorrow. Unfortunately, at this time of year, there are often problems.
Don't give me that stuff about weather conditions. Our clients are not going to accept that as an excuse.
That's not the issue right now.
I know we have some suppliers in China, but their economy's pretty strong at the moment. What's the problem with our suppliers in California?
Well, they're making cutbacks, which means reduced production. The summer is always problematic.
2.
Problem in economy in China?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think this one, kan, weather is always problematic. I think.
Can I talk with you for a moment?
Sure, what is it?
I'm concerned about the delays we're experiencing with some of our suppliers.
We're doing everything to get back on schedule.
Could you give me an approximate timeline?
A number of deliveries are arriving tomorrow. Unfortunately, at this time of year, there are often problems.
Don't give me that stuff about weather conditions. Our clients are not going to accept that as an excuse.
That's not the issue right now.
I know we have some suppliers in China, but their economy's pretty strong at the moment. What's the problem with our suppliers in California?
Well, they're making cutbacks, which means reduced production. The summer is always problematic.
Still the weather, I think.
So, have you been involved in any accidents over the years?
Well, we wished our fatality last year during a lifeboat trip.
Oh. Was it because of unsafe practices during the drill?
No, it wasn't. At first we thought it was due to unfamiliarity with the lifeboats, but later we discovered it was a communications failure.
No. Bukan karena, dia bilang bukan karena tidak familiar, tapi karena komunikasi, lack of communication. Disebut kok.
What's the time?
It's 20 to 7.
We're gonna be late. We have to be on board by 7 o'clock. They won't wait for us, you know.
Be quiet. I'm tired and fed up. I can't walk any faster.
Well, it's your fault as usual. If you haven't tried on so many dresses and spent so long trying to decide what perfume to buy, we wouldn't be rushing now, would we?
Look, Eric, just stop a minute. Are you sure we're going the right way? I don't remember these cargo ships being here. I have a horrible feeling we've come to the cargo terminal.
No, this one.
Good evening. This is the 6 o'clock news. Firefighters are still tackling a major fire on board a cargo vessel off the west coast of Scotland. According to reports, all crew members have been rescued and there are no fatalities. Several members of the crew have been taken to hospital and are being treated for the effects of smoke inhalation and minor injuries, which are not thought to be life-threatening. The vessel has been extensively damaged in the fire. So far, there is no evidence of pollution, but this is being monitored closely. We now join our reporter, Penny Taylor, at the scene.
Which one? I think this one. Okay, repeat again.
Good evening. This is the 6 o'clock news. Firefighters are still tackling a major fire on board a cargo vessel off the west coast of Scotland. According to reports, all crew members have been rescued and there are no fatalities. Several members of the crew have been taken to hospital and are being treated for the effects of smoke inhalation and minor injuries, which are not thought to be life-threatening. The vessel has been extensively damaged in the fire. So far, there is no evidence of pollution, but this is being monitored closely. We now join our reporter, Penny Taylor, at the scene.
Okay.
Before you sign the contract, please can you read the terms and conditions carefully? And if you have any questions, just ask me.
I can't see anything here about overtime.
It's in the fifth paragraph here. It says the company will pay overtime for ratings.
What about the seniority bonus?
Let me see. According to the company rules, the seniority bonus is only paid to people who have done 3 contracts with us. This is only your second contract with the company.
Okay. I don't think I have any more questions. So, where do I sign?
Yeah. The answer. Yeah. Yes. Untuk menjawab soal listening, tidak perlu mentranslate persis, mengetahui persis arti dari keseluruhan kata-kata yang ada di dalam questions. Cukup dibaca, kemudian direka-reka, bisa direka-reka, ini artinya mengenai apa sih? Nah, kemudian dilihat pilihan jawabannya apa, kemudian didengarkan. Ya, seperti itu. Jadi tidak harus ditranslate satu-satu, diketahui satu-satu. Artinya, ya. Jadi ini mengenai apa yang dibahas.
Kepala selam.
Nah, nanti ini Marlin tes yang ini saya yang kerjakan. Kita pelajari bareng. Nanti tes berikutnya diri sendiri yang kerjakan. Oke? Dan ya, that's the tips ya. Tips. Jadi ya, kita lanjutkan.
Let's check what we've done. Have you checked all the scuppers?
Yes. They've already been plugged.
Great. What about the oil spill removal kit?
Yes, it's in position.
Okay. But I don't see the oil absorbent. Where is it? Have it brought immediately. You know we can't start bunkering without it. What else? The main engine is on standby now. The moorings are secured. The tanks have been sounded and the fire hoses are positioned. Now we just have to wait until they bring the oil absorbent and we can start bunkering.
No. This one.
I can't see the mirror. Where has it gone?
It's not missing. Look, it's over there.
Oh, yes, got it. But it's no use.
Why? Has it gone rusty or something?
No, it's cracked. You need to get it replaced.
Lihat deh. Lucu banget.
No. It is not missing. It is cracked. Crack it to the match. Kapan mereka akan ketemu lagi berikutnya?
Hi, Boguslav.
Hello, Ron.
I haven't seen you for ages. How are you? Have you got time for a coffee?
I wish I could, but I'm in a hurry. Maybe we could meet on Friday?
Oh, sorry. I can't then. I'm flying out to my ship tomorrow. I'm going to the office now to sign a 4-month contract.
All right, so where's your ship now?
She's in Amsterdam, offloading cargo.
Okay, well, have a safe trip, and I'll see you when your contract finishes.
Good.
What are those ropes doing there?
I'm drying them in the sun, sir.
Well, they shouldn't have got wet in the first place. They must be in direct sunlight. Put them under a tarpaulin.
I'm afraid they're unavailable, sir.
Well, spread them on a pallet then.
Yes, sir.
Apa? Blank? I'm trying to dry them. Gitu. Mengapa tangannya berdarah?
Hey, your hand's bleeding. I warned you about that bent screwdriver.
It wasn't a screwdriver. I cut it on the barbed wire we were using against pirate attacks.
You're always cutting yourself, aren't you?
No, I'm not always cutting myself. I've only cut myself once, and that was over a week ago when I was shaving.
No. Kan ditanya ini, bilang bukan karena ini, gitu. Kamu selalu memotong tanganmu ya ketika mengerjakan ini, barbed wire. Dia bilang enggak selalunya, pernah juga saya ini gara-gara cukuran gitu. Dia bercerita. Okay, that's the end of the session, listening session. So number 11 sampai 25, 11 sampai 25 itu conversation or dialogue or monologue gitu.
What would you like for lunch? Are you ready to order now, sir?
Why, yes, I'll have some salad, roast beef, and mashed potatoes.
How do you want the beef? Rare, medium, or well done?
Well done, please. And could you make sure it's grilled rather than fried, as I can hardly do up these buttons. I need to lose some weight.
Sure. Anything to drink?
I'll have a coffee, please.
Medium or large?
Better make it a medium or I won't get any sleep tonight.
I know you were told to paint that area today, but I think we should postpone it.
Why is that, sir? Has the paint been delivered yet?
That is not the problem. Haven't you heard the shipping forecast?
Well, it seems okay at the moment, sir. Sunbathing weather, in fact.
Yes, but the wind is getting up. It will blow paint everywhere. You know how strict they are in US waters. There are some other jobs you can do instead.
I've been told there's an inspection of our cabins every Sunday morning.
Yeah, didn't you get that on your last ship?
We sure did, including our personal lockers.
Was that because of drugs or drink?
Well, the main reason was because they found some missing cash in one of the lockers. Not mine, I should add.
Bosun, I'm going to the bridge to meet the captain, and then I'm going to the lecture room to see the electrician. He's repairing the air conditioner. By the way, what's happening on the poop deck?
Oh, the Writings are scrubbing the deck, sir. After that, in about 2 hours' time, they're scheduled to paint the bulkheads.
Very good. I'll see them there after I've finished with the electrician.
Okay, sir.
John, I'm afraid we've got a problem. What cargo did you carry in the holds on your last voyage?
Grain? Why?
Right, well, holds 4 and 5.
We'll start pumping the fuel oil in a few minutes. Everyone stand by.
Okay. I've alerted the port authorities that we're about to commence. The flotation boom is in place and the checklist is complete.
Good. We want this to go smoothly. We don't want a fuel spill into the harbour like we had last time.
Yes, I remember that. One of the valve couplings failed, didn't it?
That's why we've tested all the couplings several times this morning.
Okay, so I've seen the ship certificates, logbook and oil record book. Do you have a copy of the previous inspection report for me to look at?
Yes, we just need to wait while the chief officer brings them in. In the meantime, I suggest you have a look at the crew certificates.
Have you heard what happened to the cook? He's been, hospitalized.
Why? What happened? Did he burn himself in the galley again?
No, a fish bone went into his hand and became infected. He had to get some stitches and they give him antibiotics.
Oh, I'm glad I don't eat fish after hearing that story.
Why? Don't you like it?
No, it's just I'm allergic to all seafood.
Have you ever been involved in any incidents?
Well, actually, there was one a few months ago. We came across a fishing boat that had overturned in this area.
Had they set off in heavy weather?
No, it was reasonably calm at the time. Nobody's sure what happened. They're still investigating.
There's quite a lot of submarine activity in this area, isn't there?
Yes, but at that time there were none in the area, apparently.
Okay, gentlemen. Your vessel's going to be loading some heavy cargo tomorrow. And it's important that if you have any problems which might affect your work, that you tell us about them. Last month, a deckhand injured his ankle because he hadn't reported an earlier accident. As a result, he was sent to hospital and was off work for several weeks. So, if at any time you're hurt or injured at work, you must report the matter and complete an accident report.
You know something? I'm not keen on this route.
Why is that then, sir? Why don't you like sailing in the North Atlantic?
Well, put it this way. I like it when we've reached the States. The weather always seems to be so bad at this time of year. There always seems to be a problem of some sort.
It must be better than the Gulf of Aden, sir.
Well, for my next job, I think I'll work on a cruise liner in the Mediterranean. That would suit me better.
Horrible weather today, isn't it?
Well, it may be bad now, but you mark my words. It'll be sunny and warm within 3 hours.
Well, not according to the weather forecast.
Listen, why do you think they call me William the Weatherman?
Well, it could be because you're sweaty, wet and windy.
Ah, very funny. It's because my weather predictions are always right.
In the course of your duties, there'll be times when you come across a problem which might appear very difficult to solve. Although your training will prepare you for many situations, it won't prepare you for every situation. So, if you come up against what looks like an impossible situation, I'd advise you to talk about it with your colleagues or your supervisor. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved. Now, I'm aware that sometimes in different cultures it can be seen as a weakness to admit you don't know something, which can prevent you from asking for help. But I want you to remember one thing. No question is stupid.
Good morning, Transglobe Management Office, Technical Support Department. How can I help you?
Good morning. This is Captain Pavlidis of the MV Orion. Can I speak to someone about our email access on board, please?
Certainly, Captain. What seems to be the problem?
Well, since yesterday evening, we haven't been able to send or receive any emails on any of the ship's computers. I think it's probably the satellite link.
All right, okay. We'll look into that straight away. Please just give us a few minutes and we'll call you right back.
Why don't you release this?
We've increased the main engine speed.
You must inspect all the fans before sailing. We looked through all the catalogues but couldn't find the name of this part.
Have you taken the measurements? I think it's about a litre.
Tins of pineapples have been delivered to the ship.
The captain was sleeping when the accident happened.
That new build ship is really fast.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jumpa lagi dengan saya Ibu Mira. Kita akan mengerjakan satu tes marlin.
I think we need to extend this project.
Did you hear about that deck rating who was asphyxiated by carbon monoxide?
There's been a mistake with the date in the safety study. It must be corrected. There's been a mistake with the date in the safety study. It must be corrected.
Can you check the technical equipment over there, please?
The expiry date on these fire extinguishers ends in 1 month. We'll need 13 extinguishers to be replaced or refilled on shore. The expiry date on these fire extinguishers ends in 1 month. We'll need 13 extinguishers to be replaced or...
The third officer made a valid observation.
Don't shake this equipment.
We had to change our plane, so we didn't arrive at the port in time. We had to change our plane, so we didn't arrive at the port in time.
Why don't you release this?
Please inform us when the hold inspection will be carried out. Please inform us when the hold inspection.
Tips untuk mengerjakan listening session. Baca dulu baik-baik soalnya, terutama untuk yang nomor 11 sampai dengan 25 itu percakapannya panjang. Jadi dibaca baik-baik dulu soalnya, terus pilihannya, baru kemudian klik play. Usahakan untuk mengklik play-nya 1 kali saja, jangan diulang-ulang, supaya bisa menghemat waktu. Karena kalau misalkan semua play-nya jatuh 2 kali didengarkan semua, maka akan habis waktu di sesi listening saja. Begitu, maka sesi lainnya yang berikutnya grammar, vocabulary, time and number, pronunciation, dan reading akan tidak kebagian waktu.
Why are you walking with a limp?
Oh, it's these damn steps. I fell downstairs when I was going into the galley. It was dark because the light isn't working, and I was thinking about other things, and I didn't notice the steps. My knee really hurts.
In 48 hours, we'll be entering waters that are known operating areas to some very violent pirates. Of course, we are taking some precautions. And for the first time, we have a couple of armed security personnel on board for this voyage. I was hoping for 3, but
So, have you been involved in any accidents over the years?
Well, I witnessed a fatality last year during a lifeboat drill.
Oh. Was it because of unsafe practices during the drill?
No, it wasn't. At first we thought it was due to unfamiliarity with the lifeboats, but later we discovered it was a communications failure.
Morning, Captain.
Morning, Mr. Addison. We seem to be running low on meat, fruit and vegetables. We'd better stock up before we set off, as we won't have the chance again for a few weeks.
Okay. Have you looked at the price list?
Yeah, it looks fine to me. So could you order 30 kilos of pork, 40 kilos of beef, 100 kilos of potatoes and 75 kilos of carrots?
Okay.
GBI Crewing Department. Can I help you?
Hello, I'm the wife of Second Engineer Joao Oliveira, who's on board the Ocean Sunrise. I'd like to know when my husband will be signed off. His contract ends tomorrow.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Oliveira, but I'm afraid your husband can't leave the vessel tomorrow. His relief broke his leg earlier today and can't join the vessel. We're looking for a replacement, and as soon as we have someone, we'll let you know when your husband can sign off.
I see. Well, I'll wait to hear from you. Thanks. Goodbye.
Right, the next area I want to check is the access to the accommodation. We'll start here on deck A.
You okay?
Good. Everything seems to be okay. Now, could you lock this last door?
Oh, it doesn't seem to be working.
A freight ferry had just left her berth when a member of the forward mooring team saw that a vehicle carrying hazardous cargo was leaking onto the foredeck. So he immediately reported it to the bridge and they evacuated the foredeck. Anyway, they turned off the ventilation system and put on chemical suits and breathing apparatus. When they had a look at the vehicle, they saw that several drums had fallen over and spilt.
Excuse me, but I'd like to change cabins. This one's far too noisy.
You mean from the people in the next cabin?
No, it's because we're above the disco. And at night we can hear the thumping music all night. My husband and I are in our...
Have you spoken to the new third engineer yet?
Yes, he seems like a good guy.
Really? I was starting to think he might be depressed or have marriage problems or something.
Why do you think that?
Well, when I tried to speak to him yesterday, he just reacted like he was deaf or something and completely ignored me.
Well, if you were speaking to him too loudly or even shouting at him, he would feel humiliated in public. Men from that culture don't like being spoken to like.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is MV Ocean Spray. India, Romeo, Sierra, Lima. My position, 5 degrees north, 42 degrees west. Local time now 0400 hours. I struck an iceberg approximately 1 hour ago at 0300 hours. I have damage below waterline. I am sinking. I require immediate assistance. Oh. Hello, Mr. Lansky. It's Ruud Jensen, your crew manager here.
Oh, hello. Nice to hear from you.
I've got some good news for you. Your promotion to Chief Officer was confirmed yesterday. You'll join the vessel in a month and relieve the Italian Chief Officer who's been promoted to Master.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. I'm looking forward to starting.
Yeah, did you hear what happened with the shipping forecast the other day?
Oh yes, I heard about that. They read out the same shipping forecast 2 days in a row and nobody noticed.
That's right. They predicted force 9 winds on the Monday and then again on the Tuesday.
Yes, apparently a large number of vessels stayed in port to avoid the storm because they thought it would last 2 days, but it only lasted 1 day.
Still, it could have been worse. They might have read the same shipping forecast.
Excuse me, can you tell me where I can find a hospital?
Yes, it's in Bridge Street. It's about 5 minutes away by taxi, or you can take the number 42 bus. That'll take about 15 minutes to get there.
Can I walk there?
Oh yeah, it's actually quicker than the bus, because you take a shortcut through the supermarket car park. You should get there in about 10 minutes.
So, how much longer do you think we'll have to wait for these documents?
I'm sorry for the delay. I think they must have been mislaid or put in the wrong place.
Do you think there's any chance they've been lost altogether or accidentally destroyed?
That's not possible.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry for interrupting, but those particular documents you asked for aren't on board. The superintendent took them away with him when he left.
What?
You look tired.
I am tired. I haven't been sleeping well.
Well, that could be because your cabin's like a freezer.
And yours is like a sauna. Research shows that it's actually much healthier to sleep in a cooler room than in an overheated room. The temperature's ideal for me.
Okay, well, in that case, I think you should cut down on the coughing. You've been drinking much more than usual, haven't you?
That's because I've given up smoking. Haven't you noticed how I've stopped coughing? But yes, now you mention it, that explains it.
That's the end of the session listening. Now we move to the next grammar.
Before sailing, all packages must be thoroughly checked. I don't like that cafe, do you?
I can't see because of the thick smog.
We need to examine the cargo before unloading it.
It was a hard grind.
I think you need a lighter torch.
He knows a lot about shipping. He knows a lot about shipping. We've increased the main engine speed. We've increased the main engine speed.
This hurricane could destroy the equipment settings.
Did you check the levels of the oil tanks, including those not being filled?
Captain, I'd like to talk to you. I'm thinking about going to another company where the pay is a bit better.
Well, I guess you need to decide what your priorities are. What's the most important thing to you? Money or opportunities?
Well, at the moment it's money. My wife wants a bigger flat. She also wants us to start a family soon.
Yes, I see. But that's your wife. What about you? What do you want?
To be frank, I'd rather concentrate on my career than have children, and I'm perfectly happy in the flat we have just now. It's been in the family for about 70 years. I guess if it was just my own decision, I'd like to become a master.
Okay, so you've answered your own question.
Yes, you're right. If I stay with this company, then I've got a good chance of promotion. This is my first general cargo vessel. I've been on tankers for the last 10 years.
Well, the best thing about this ship is the variety of jobs we get.
What do you mean by that?
We get to visit a wide variety of ports, and we're not always on any regular shipping routes. No two jobs seem the same.
That sounds interesting. On my last job, I was usually traveling between the Arabian Gulf and China or Japan.
Well, we get to visit many different ports in the Mediterranean, and sometimes the Scandinavian countries.
I'm looking forward to that. I see you have some photographs?
Yeah, these were taken on the last voyage. Let me show them to you.
Israel is joining a new ship and talking to crewmen and comparing this vessel with his old vessel. What is the main difference concerning his new vessel? His new ship travels between. His new ship has a lot of variant. Business you follow regular.
This is my first general cargo vessel. I've been on tankers for the last 10 years.
Well, the best thing about this ship is the variety of jobs we get.
What do you mean by that?
We get to visit a wide variety of ports, and we're not always on any regular shipping routes. No two jobs seem the same.
That sounds interesting. On my last job, I was usually traveling between the Arabian Gulf and China or Japan.
Well, we get to visit many different ports in the Mediterranean, and sometimes the Scandinavian countries.
I'm looking forward to that. I see you have some photographs?
Yeah, these were taken on the last voyage. Let me show them to you.
So we've discussed the main points, we've carried out a risk assessment, and we know who's doing what and individual responsibilities. Now, where's that work permit gone?
It's here. It's all been sorted.
There's something I've forgotten. Oh, I'm getting old.
We still need to discuss who's in charge of the local takeout.
Ah, yes, that's the one.
Okay, gentlemen. Your vessel's going to be loading some heavy cargo tomorrow, and it's important that if you have any problems which might affect your work, that you tell us about them. Last month, a deckhand injured his ankle because he hadn't reported an earlier accident.
John, I'm afraid we've got a problem. What cargo did you carry in the holds on your last voyage?
Grain? Why?
Right, well, holds 4 and 5.
I've been told there's an inspection of our cabins every Sunday morning.
Yeah, didn't you get that on your last ship?
We sure did, including our personal lockers.
Was that because of drugs or drink?
Well, the main reason was because they found some missing cash in one of the lockers. Not mine, I should add.
Good morning, sir. Can I help you?
Hi, I'm looking for a DVD player, but not too expensive.
This is a good deal. It's Panasonic. Excellent quality.
Okay. How much is that then?
It's $50.
Okay. Let me think about it.
You know something? I'm not keen on this route.
Why is that then, sir? Why don't you like sailing in the North Atlantic?
Well, put it this way. I like it when we've reached the States. The weather...
Some of the crew are complaining about the new third officer.
Oh, don't tell me he's moody and silent like the last one.
No, he's got a problem communicating with the crew. Have you spoken to him much?
A bit. He seems quite chatty to me. Why, do they think he talks too quickly?
No. The problem is his Scottish accent. They have problems following him, but...
Hi. How was your watch? Any problems?
Nothing serious. But about an hour ago there was an alarm in the control room that showed the water level was low in the diesel generator cooling system. But it didn't fall to the critical point.
So, did you add some water?
Yes, but keep an eye on the water level.
When your plane gets in next Monday, a representative from our shipping agency will be there to meet you. He'll be holding up a sign.
Look, that's not good enough. The last time I flew into Moscow, there were literally hundreds of agents holding up signs. It was impossible to find the agent. It took me an hour and a half to get through immigration. And I don't think he was even there when I finally reached arrivals. In the end, I had to get myself across Moscow in a taxi. How do I know the same thing won't happen again?
Okay, what about if I describe him to you?
That's still not good enough when there are so many people.
Okay, what about if I tell him to wait next to the money exchange rather than with the rest of the agents?
Yes, that sounds a better arrangement.
Excuse me, can you tell me where I can find a hospital?
Yes, it's in Bridge Street. It's about 5 minutes away by taxi, or you can take the number 42 bus. That'll take about 15 minutes to get there.
Can I walk there?
Oh yeah, it's actually quicker than the bus, because you take a shortcut through the supermarket car park. You should get there in about 10 minutes.
What are those ropes doing there?
I'm drying them in the sun, sir.
Well, they shouldn't have got wet in the first place. They must be in direct sunlight. Put them under a tarpaulin.
I'm afraid there aren't any available, sir.
Well, spread them on a pallet then.
Yes, sir.
What are those ropes doing there?
I'm drying them in the sun, sir.
Well, they shouldn't have got wet in the first place. They must be in direct sunlight. Put them under a tarpaulin.
I'm afraid there aren't any available, sir.
Well, spread them on a pallet then.
Yes, sir.
In the course of your duties, there'll be times when you come across a problem which might appear very difficult to solve. Although your training will prepare you for many situations, it won't prepare you for every situation. So, if you come up against what looks like an impossible situation, I'd advise you to talk about it with your colleagues or your supervisor. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved. Now, I'm aware that sometimes in different cultures it can be seen as a weakness to admit you don't know something, which can prevent you from asking for help. But I want you to remember one thing. No question is stupid.
Right, so these are the standard life jackets. I have a light on them here. That lasts at least 8 hours, and they have a whistle. Can you all see? Right, now I'll show you how to put them on. It's very important that you do this correctly and as quickly as possible. You should be aiming to get them on within 1 minute. So first put it on like this, and make sure that it's the right way up. Then tie the upper tapes, no, not the lower ones. Make sure you fasten the upper ones first. That's right. Good.
That's the end of the listening session. Hoping that we got the best score